Hello and welcome. It's the day 2 of ABC Conclave Bangkok edition, and currently I'm having Gabby over here, right? So hi, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Great. So he's from the YGG, right? And he's a co-founder, and you're having such a great core of Web3, the blockchain ecosystem, and specifically talking about the gaming industry,
That's right.
right? So how do you think that this Web3 gaming industry is going forward?
Now there's a lot of really good games, good products, and I think a lot of these games are launching in the next year, and then we're going to see a lot of players getting exposure to Web3 via gaming.
Yes, because at initial stage, my overview of this Web3 gaming industry is the people are much more into just having assets that they can trade for, right? Instead of actually experiencing it, actually having the fun within the game. But now I'm seeing that more and more games are more inclined towards enhancing the experience within the game rather than just implementing any Web3 ecosystem, right? So how that's going forward?
Yeah, so games typically take a long time to make. A lot of them take 2, 3 years or more, and now we're seeing the results of the games that have been in development in the last few years. So yeah, I think we're seeing a lot better product now.
And what's the best region that you think the development is going on?
The games are coming from all over the world. There's US, there's Asia, there's Europe, but I think the most lively players are coming from Southeast Asia.
Yes, because there are very big communities of gamers around the Discord or maybe Twitch in the C region specifically, the Southeast Asians.
Yeah.
There's a good community in Vietnam and Malaysia. I've been closely connected with directly to them, right? Apart from that, how do you think that the Web3 innovation in the gaming is actually helping it, or is it just going to push it like another border?
I think asset ownership in games is really a major theme. It's still very new and very underexplored, but we're seeing players becoming more loyal to the games that they work with if they have ownership in these assets.
But what do you think? I mean, if I make the skin an NFT asset, right, and break it down to multiple segments, right? So the skin is not that rare because it's now as it is accessible to like more than 100 people. But at the initial stage, when it was not fragmented, it's just holding for one single person. So it's going to be a rare piece of art, right? So is this gonna affect, the value of that particular skin or NFT, or is it going to help it boom it further?
I think just the idea that people will really own their own assets, even in current games where you have assets, you don't really have ownership and it can be taken away at any time. So I think true ownership is different in that these assets are really yours.
Yes, and how this is different from like the traditional Web2 ownerships.
You don't own any of those assets.
Yeah, it's just happen to have in my system,
Correct,
but
yeah.
can be
Yeah.
diluted anytime, right?
That's right.
And speaking of the tokenization of all those assets, right? Is it going to help the adoption of any game, or is it just a gimmick?
I think it's not just about adoption, it's getting people to care about the assets and the ecosystems for a long time. So, in terms of engagement and retention, that's where it helps a lot more than with acquisition.
Right, and how's your session about the same, right? Because your session was about the Web3 gaming and how it's going to take the further leaps, right? How was your session?
Session's great. I think a lot of people are excited about the games that are coming up that have features of Web3 ownership.
Right, and talking about YGG, what are your goals for up to like next 5 years?
Next 5 years, it's to be able to aggregate guild communities, give them ownership in these assets, and then give them things to do that can give them digital asset ownership.
Great. So I have to see much more innovations with the YGG, right? And you're already doing a lot. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for the time that you have here. Thank you so much,
All
and I
right,
hope
thank
you
you.
enjoy the rest of the event.